Yo, check it out, I gotta speak the truth about the hardest working small channel in the crypto booth.
Things are finally beginning to move. Ethereum has finally broken above $3,500. Check it out. The overall market cap is on CoinGecko is reported as $3.4 trillion, while on CoinMarketCap it's only at $3.3 trillion. I don't know what the discrepancy is. I don't know why that is, and I really enjoy looking at this projection of the chart right here. Whether that is an accurate rubric or metric or not, I'm not quite sure, because like I said, there's a discrepancy of about $100 billion between CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Nonetheless, Bitcoin's at $96,000. Yesterday, or the past 2 days, we had a bit of a dip in Bitcoin, and there was a fear in the pump being a fake pump because Bitcoin had broken below the $92,000 resistance. But it looks like it managed to recover. I woke up this morning to see a massive Bitcoin pump, and right now I drew the Fibonacci retracement tool, pulled it out. Bitcoin nearly bounced off the $90,000 level right here, and right now it's toying with breaking back above the $96,000. So it tapped the $96,000, $97,000 resistance here on the Fib, and I guess we're gonna see a bit of a retracement, quite possibly back down to 95. Now, will Bitcoin dump all the way down below 90,000? While Bitcoin's doing that, Ethereum finally broke above $3,600, which it hasn't seen in a while. And the chart for Ethereum is insane. This is on the hourly, and you can see it's just a massive run up on Ethereum. We saw Bitcoin topping out at $4,868 in the last bull run. So we're not that far off from the all-time high for Ethereum. This time around, Ethereum broke above $4,000 and it retraced, obviously, as people were taking profits. But essentially, we are a mere 22% above the all-time, below the all-time high from the last high. So right now, Ethereum, at where it stands, we're looking at a 30%, about a 33% levels below the all-time high, which is not a lot. $3,600 is proving to be the resistance right now for Ethereum. Once Ethereum breaks above this level, $3,600, we should have a clear sky all the way to 4,100, and that is just a few percent shy of the all-time high of $4,800. So Ethereum is breaking out right now. It's just testing the resistance for $3,600. And this could be on the heels of this announcement from Bitwise: files for Bitcoin Ethereum ETF with SEC and plans New York Stock Exchange launch. This article just came out yesterday, November 27th. Bitwise Asset Management has filed an S1 registration with the US Securities and Exchange Commission for a proposed crypto mixed spot exchange traded fund. The asset manager also outlined plans to launch trading for the ETF as an exchange-traded product on the New York Stock Exchange. According to Bitwise, the goal would be to give investors a balanced exposure to the two largest crypto assets in the world in an easy-to-access format. So this move means that it would allow a lot more retail investors to get in on cryptocurrencies. There's no specific launch date listed just yet, but the proposal has been listed on the United States Securities and Exchange Commission Forms S1, and it reads as follows: the Bitwise Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, the trust, is an exchange-traded product that issues common shares of beneficial interest that are anticipated to be listed on the NYSC Arca Incorporated. The exchange under the ticket symbol, there is no ticket symbol given just yet. The trust's investment objective is to seek to provide exposure to the value of Bitcoin and Ether held by the trust. In seeking to achieve its investment objective, the trust will hold Bitcoin and Ether and establish its net asset value by referencing to the CME of Bitcoin. Bitwise filing gets NYSC Arca backing. Bitcoin Ethereum ETP nears reality. So it is coming. Bitwise has filed a 19B4 application. So despite all this, apparently the SEC, the article says that the SEC has been cautious when approving new crypto-based investment products, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, the Trump administration is now considering shifting crypto oversight to CFTC, reducing SEC influence. So I guess they've had enough of the SEC, and they're looking to shift it to the Commodity Futures Trading Commissions. The Trump administration is considering expanding the Commodity Futures Trading Commission authority to oversee the cryptocurrency market, potentially positioning it as primary regulator for Bitcoin and Ethereum, moving away from the Securities and Exchange Commission's dominance. The plan aims to classify these assets as commodities, which would allow the CFTC to apply a lighter regulatory approach, encouraging innovation in the crypto space. Although it's a bit strange to classify them as commodities. Now, if you go to Google, commodities are raw materials that are used to create products for consumers such as food, furniture, and gasoline. Just in case you were wondering about what commodities are, like I often am. They are typically uniform and interchangeable and are priced more or less the same throughout the marketplace. Examples of commodities include agricultural products like wheat, cattle, corn, cotton, pork, and soybeans, energy products like oil or natural gas, and metals like gold, silver, and aluminum. So I'm not exactly sure how Bitcoin and Ethereum fall into the category of commodities, but heck, if it does prove, if it does help with the regulatory oversight, with lessening of the regulatory oversight, then maybe that's a good thing, yeah? And I don't know if you've been paying attention to Cardano. Cardano's been getting a lot of bad rep lately, but it's up 26% on the 7-day, and it is above $1. Cardano price surges above $1 on 200% 30-day rally. What is going on with ADA? That is the good question. Well, there was a tweet some time ago about Trump possibly installing Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, as a treasury secretary or some such, and right after that we saw the big pump on Cardano. But there's got to be something else in that, right? The recent deployment of a zero knowledge smart contract expands Cardano's blockchain capabilities and reduces costs. Some traders are saying that the present consolidation and redistribution phase is a healthy step toward paving the way for potential future growth towards $5 and $10 mark. Cardano reached its all-time high at $3.10, and right now we are basically still in the very heavy discount stage. Since its all-time high, Cardano has retraced all the way down to the levels of 25 cents, which is just a little bit above its basically inception price of, what was it, like 8 cents prior to the last bull run. And so this is the time to accumulate. Right now, Cardano is broken above the 75% discount, which is a good sign. And the next stop would be at $1.50. That will be the next major resistance line for Cardano. Looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool, right now Cardano is testing the $1.03 resistance. Basically, above that there is $1.06, and then there are smaller resistance levels on the 4-hour chart. So we're going to be seeing Cardano struggling, I guess, to break above these. But once it breaks above these levels, major resistance is going to be at $1.50. Alley charts record that Cardano whales bought over 130 million worth of Cardano or ADA during the recent price dip. So while people are selling, other people are buying up, and Cardano is in a very good place. It's got a very obviously a proven track record, a community that is still thriving, and despite the FUD and people talking crap about Cardano and looking down on it and whatever the case, Charles Hoskinson has been working and has been very active on the platform. And so it's not like a lot of the other projects that disappear into oblivion. It has been one of the leading crypto projects over the past years, and it's going to remain where it is because of the work that Charles and his team are putting into the project. So right now the price tag for Cardano is fantastic, and if you haven't gotten into on Cardano at 30 cents and are now FOMOing in, expect to make some gains still, because Cardano is going to go. Charles Hoskinson or Cardano may also be getting some love from people because of the announcements that Charles Hoskinson is making. He believes that ADA will go to $500,000 in the next 2 years. And so this is, again, the narrative that some people are pushing, the suggestion that, they're bypassing the bear market. The suggestion is that there will not be a bear market beginning next year in 2025, when it should be. This prediction that Bitcoin will go to $500,000 in the next 2 years basically sidesteps the idea of the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin and dismisses the reality of a bear market, which is supposed to take place towards the end of 2025, mid 2025, end of 2025, post the peak. And so this is a very dangerous idea that Hoskinson is pushing, and a lot of other people are pushing. And I'd be very, very careful about holding out for the next 2 years and hoping for Bitcoin to hit $500,000, because this happened in the past. There was talk of Bitcoin hitting 100,000 in the last bull run, and it never solidified. There were talks of 150,000, I think, and that never solidified. Bitcoin hit $69,000 and then retraced, and we saw a massive deep bear market, a crypto winter that lasted for 2 years. And so announcements like this I find to be very disconcerting, because that is not usually the case. When you start seeing stuff like this, and these misleading announcements that the bear market is just not going to happen, that's dangerous. Be careful of that. Be careful. I'm not saying this is not true, but like I said, for the past since Bitcoin's inception, we saw a 4-year cycle, and after every bull market there is a bear market, and so it's hard to believe that this time around it's going to be different. Yes, we have massive inflows of money in the ETFs and BlackRocks, and MicroStrategy is buying up, and they're not supposed to. He's saying that they're not. Saylor is saying that he's not going to be selling anything. But a lot of other investors, a lot of crypto investors, investors in general, will be taking profits. Don't forget that Wall Street is here as well, and Wall Street doesn't care about predictions coming from Charles Hoskinson. What they care is the bottom line, and that is the profit. So these companies, these entities will be taking their fair share, and they'll be running away with your money. So don't pay attention to, pay attention to these posts, to these announcements, but take them with a grain of salt. Don't think that all of a sudden, because Charles Hoskinson said that Bitcoin's going to go to $500,000 in the next 2 years, that all of a sudden the bear market in the 4-year cycle has changed and there will not be a bear market. Take profits as you go along and make sure that you pocket them and stay safe, because once the bear market hits, it's going to come fast and it's going to come hard, especially since Bitcoin and all other crypto have, the market cap is going up. If we see a market cap of 4, which is quite possible, very easily, $4 or $5 trillion, you can bet your behind that when the bear market hits, we're going to see this market cap dump to all the way to maybe $2 trillion or even less. And so it's going to be a drop of $3 or $4 trillion within a matter of weeks. And all the gains will be wiped out, and you will be left behind, hoping for that $500,000 Bitcoin, which is not going to come in the next 2 years. So be very, very careful about headlines like these. Another positive announcement is that the US court sides with Tornado Cash and overturns sanctions, says smart contracts not property. So it looks like Tornado Cash, the announcement for Tornado Cash may be a positive and is bringing some relief to Tornado Cash. I wonder if they're going to let these guys go, if they're not going to be prosecuted. And of course, that is a huge positive for crypto, kind of a massive morale boost, yeah? The developers have been targeted with lengthy legal proceedings and threat of prison time. Now, a New Orleans-based U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Council, led by Judge Don Willett, wrote that the OFAC sanctions failed to correctly define property in its state statute against the service. More importantly, Tornado Cash, as defined by OFAC, does not own the services provided by the immutable contracts. Contrary to the department's arguments, the immutable smart contracts are not services. So even when we consider OFAC's regulatory definitions, the immutable smart contracts are not property because they are not ownable, not contracts, and not services. Tornado Cash's utility token rallied almost 900% on the ruling and may also be the reason behind the pump, the continuation of the pump right now. So there's some good news coming our way. There's more and more good news coming our way. Cardano is pumping, Tornado Cash is being set free. The one bad thing that this guy, he's so annoying, I can't stand him. Have you ever seen him on TV? His voice is just cringe. Kramer rejects jinxing Bitcoin defense bullish stance despite dip. Every single time this guy says, something positive about crypto, it goes down, and vice versa. Now, all of a sudden, he's jinxing crypto. He's talking positively about Bitcoin, which is not great, but so far so good. We're still seeing Bitcoin pumping. And the last thing that caught my interest is Vancouver mayor proposes Bitcoin as city reserve asset for stability. I don't know if you understand this, but the present Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is kind of he's kissy with Trump, which is not great for Canadian economy because there's a lot of complaints of jobs being delegated and sent out of Canada, and basically a lot of money is being siphoned out of Canada into the United States. But it's good for crypto apparently, because the Vancouver mayor Ken Sim proposes Bitcoin as a reserve asset to protect purchasing power. So a lot of the there's a trickle down effect of Trump's policies and stance on crypto, and a lot of the things like court decisions against Tornado Cash and SEC's decisions are heavily influenced by the upcoming presidential inauguration and the presidential office that is being selected, right? The Trump's campaign was very pro crypto heavy, and so a lot of the government bodies, a lot of the proponents, the government pundits are now basically grappling for favors with Trump because everybody wants to be on his good side. So there's going to be a lot more news, a lot more announcements, positive announcements for crypto based on Trump's presence and his position on cryptocurrencies. So expect this bull run to be a massive one just for that reason alone. But there will be a bear market inevitably. And again, I would issue this warning: be very, very cautious about announcements like that by Charles Hoskinson. As much as I, love the guy for Cardano and love Cardano, but be very, very careful when you see announcements like that saying that Bitcoin will hit $500,000 in the next 2 years, because again, this bypasses or sidesteps this idea of there being a bear market which is supposed to take place within the next 2 years. So if it doesn't work, you either have a bear market or you have 500,000 Bitcoin, and it's not happening. If this announcement came out a year earlier, then we could possibly see that being a reality. But I would say that this is a possibility within the next 4 years. So not 2, but I would say this to be the next 4 years, post the following bear market and into the bull market of 2029. I'm going to close it off with this. Please make sure to smash up the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment section below, pick up a Descent wallet. Descent is having a fantastic sale right now. I just published a video yesterday. If you haven't seen it, then check it out. You can get 47% discount on the purchase of 2 of these biometric wallets right now. A fantastic Christmas present. These are sweet. These are really, really sweet. So pick those out. 47%. It's like getting free. Plus, there is a massive airdrop for the first 1,000 people who purchase this. For the first 1,000 purchases, there is going to be an airdrop. The Descent wallet team is going to be sending out some tokens into your wallet in January of next year, between January 15th, not 12th and 15th, I believe. But you need to be purchasing this wallet within a specific time from now until January 5th, I believe. And the first 1,000 purchases get the dibs on that. So get that right now. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Peace.